Okay, we're over on the Massey 20 at the air cleaner. Now the air cleaner should have an evacuator valve. We call them a duck's bum, duck's arse, and it sits down the bottom here, and any dirt that falls down the bottom, as the engine pulses, it vibrates the dirt out to keep it clean, but it won't let it suck back in again. So it's never had one of these on it. And when we put the finger up the hole there, it's just full of dirt. So we're going to pull the air cleaner off, get it on the bench. We're going to replace the elements. The filter around the end of the housing here, I'll show you on the bench later, it's supposed to have a rubber around it. That's missing, so it would have been sucking in here, sucking up there, and the pre-cleaner, which comes down and sits on top there. It's just a pre-cleaner like that. So very common for the 100 series, the 20s. Well, this is Massey Ferguson 20 industrial. And look, the reason the bonnet's off is this screw here. When we look at this bloke, to get him off, it's that the bonnet comes down to about down here, and I just couldn't get a screwdriver to it. And I thought, well, I'll just undo the bonnet, take the bonnet out of the way. That'll give me a little bit of a look at what's going on. So I'll just loosen that clamp right off and try and clean it around there a little bit so nothing should fall in. And I'm very lucky I did have a look, because once the bonnet came off, I've just disconnected this battery lead. The battery lead's been joined and it's been rubbing on the pipe. You can see the silver line there when the positive battery terminal has been rubbing through. So that's disconnected now, so that's safe. Now, the other thing that's been broken over the years is this hose here. Now this hose here, there's a little tit just there, and it goes to a meter on the dash that's like a vacuum gauge, and it tells you when the filter's getting blocked in through here, it sucks a bit harder there and it pulls against a spring, and it gives you an indication of how blocked your filter is. So that's just been sucking air in there as well. So what I'm going to do is, look, I'm probably just going to block that up, put a cap over it with a bit of silicone in it, something like that. I just need to undo this other hose clamp here. And I do have a brand new hose for this. That will sit up something like that, and that's a Sparix, an S41378. So that fits a 135148 and all, I believe, but that will, I'm not sure if there's a particular way it needs to go on, but we'll work that out at the time. It nearly looks a little long, but better too long than too short, so I hear. So anyway, we'll go with that. Now, to get the air cleaner on the bench and have a good discussion, there's only 2 bolts here, so a 7/16 socket. We'll get these out of the way. It's actually a 1/4 UNF bolt, so a 7/16 AF thread fits them, and what is that, 3/4 of an inch long, I suppose. So we'll put that down there out of the way. And the reason I'm pulling it off and going to do it on the bench is, one, I can show you better how to service it, and the other thing is that I couldn't get it as clean as I'd like where the tractor is here now. So put that bolt away. One thing with an air cleaner, you look down the pipe and you bring your finger down and see that dirt on my finger? That's not a particularly good sign. But you can see it's got dirt all blocked in here. We've got to get all dirt through there. That's where the duck's bum goes, dirt there. And there's supposed to be a sealing rubber around here. So we'll take this out, we'll take it to the bench and pull the filters out just to run through that. This hose comes off there, no worries. probably the original one. There's a bit of a rub mark here. So that looks like one of these fuel hoses has been rubbing on the air cleaner hose. So that's something we have to deal with. And now inside the manifold, there's a bit of dirt in there too. So it's an old tractor. It starts and runs very well actually. So anyway, we'll leave a bit of rag over the top there just to stop any more rubbish jumping in. We'll take the key out and sit the key on top of the battery, so we have to think about it before it gets started. And I believe this bracket here, I think the battery lead originally would have come down there and gone up there, but we're going to replace that. I'm not going to have that. That's just not worth it. All the dirt here. And this will probably give us a better run at putting the foot throttle on as well. Okay, we're over at the bench. And I've got the new air cleaners, an S40545 and an S40544. Now those filters, they fit obviously my 20 here, but they also fit the 135, the 148 and things like that. So you can see in this hole here, it is just full of rust. I've got some rag down here because we're going to make a mess. Not rust, dirt I should say. We're going to make a mess here for sure. And all we need to do, and this is, you can do this part on the tractor, you can just undo this nut here. Now on this nut there should be a sealing washer, and there's not. Now if I have a look at the new filter, the S40544, it comes with a washer. So that washer sits down over that nut, and they're quite bloody firm. Oh, I might have to, I'll get rid of that bit of shit stuck to my hand. And what I might do is just put it over there, do this up, and that should pull the rubber down onto the nut. There we go, I just felt it snap. So that's what it should look like. It should sit down, probably sit down a bit further, but yeah, that seals between the nut and the end of the air cleaner element there. Now, these normally, and I'll show you on the Sparex one, on a 40544, they actually have a little finger pull there to pull the filter out. This one doesn't. It's just I don't know what sort it is. Filter feels a bit stuck then. They're not normally like that. There we go. So we have the rubber down here, got dirt all around the rubber there. And look at that old girl. They actually, where the Sparex one, it's shielded where the air comes in. So where the air comes in, the dirty air comes in, so you don't get a patch on the filter that's dirtier than others. They have the tin there, so the air's got to come up and then get sucked through, and it still has a full surface area. And then it has another one there for the duck's bum. But yeah, whatever brand this filter is, it's just been, that's like duct tape sitting up there. No, so just rubbish. There's no number on it. Who knows where it come from, but the bin is just there. Okay, we need to undo this next filter. Now it's a Sparex S40545, and it's a safety element. So normally, I've got a dirty finger mark on there already. Normally because they have less surface area, they're not as coarse, or they're coarser I mean than this, but it stops all the big bits going in. So if we get my trusty fit all, and this hasn't been sealing anyway. You can see it's gone out of shape there, and you can see where the washer has sat. Probably there. It's been slopping around there. That can go in the bin. We'll probably need to keep the nut. And that's the inner element. And like I say, it is just a safety element in case something goes wrong there. Straight in the bin with that. There is down here, it feels. Yeah, there is like fins down inside there which you may not be able to see. I'll go and wash all this up, but this is the amount of dirt that's in the filter housing itself. So it's got no chance of working properly like that, poor old thing. So I'll take this outside now. I won't film it, I'll degrease it, I'll pressure clean it, I'll make sure it's all nice and clean where it should be, and we'll go from there. I have seen some of these filters with the fins around them, but it feels like it's part of the air cleaner in here. But yeah, so quite dirty. All right, I'll go and clean this up. Next time you see it, it'll be sparkling. Okay, we've got the air cleaner all cleaned up. It's all nice and clean. You can see those fins inside there. And I've got some of this CRC RTV silicone, and you won't see me use this stuff very often, but I'm going to use it today. And the reason is, if you can see round the edge there, there's a couple of tags sticking out that hold the vents in. Yeah, this one here, the vent's missing altogether, and I think I'd rather have it all sealed up. I don't think it should be open. And also, this little pipe here, I'm not going to put the other dash sensor on, so I thought I would try and force this over there. Oh, look at that. Straight in, no kissing. Pull this lever. Well, that mightn't be what I had in mind, really. Guess I'll bit of rag from over here and tidy this all up again, I think. Press the button. Yep, it comes out. What I was trying to do was just fill this little hole up. So it can't leak air. I'll get the no, it's all blocked up in there anyway. Okay, so we'll just get the idea was just to get a bit and just make sure that dirty air cannot get in there. So that's a bit of a farmer fix, but it's just what I'll choose to do at the time. Later on, if I feel like I want to put the sensor on, we'll go for it. Now, I just want to fill this up here. And we'll put the cap on back on there. I just want to force that in a little bit just to make sure it's all the way. Okay, so we know that hole's covered now, so nothing can get in there. Yep, that's good. Got to be happy with that. Okay, we'll start with the inner, an S40545, and what we want to do is just make sure it goes all the way down, sits right down on the bottom there. And what you can do, and look, whether you do this or not, some people like this idea, some don't. It's completely up to you. I don't mind doing it now and then. Just put a little run of grease around. Slide the air cleaner in. Push it down hard. Pull it back out. And you can see all around there that the grease has been touched. And if you look down the hole there, you can actually see where the grease hit all the way. So that's good. So now this little nut that we took off earlier, it has its own hard washer, not that little rubber soft thing it had. Once again, this is quite tight, I believe. Yep, so we'll try and line it up and let the thread pull it on. That's looking nice and central. There you go, you can just hear that little pop. So that's the washer going down over. I think that washer actually split going over there. Yep, it did. Can you see that? We don't want that. All right, I do have a spare filter. I'm going to go and steal the washer. That's another one. Okay, we have another washer. We'll try again, just to make sure. That was this filter I've had for a long time. It was what? Yeah, 2015 it was made, and I've had it here for a long time. So I don't know whether that matters or not. So we'll try again, try and centralise it, make sure it's nice and in the middle. Feels good. Okay, I can feel that went looser, but what I'd like to do now is undo it. I just want to make sure in my own mind that that's okay. We haven't split the washer. Yeah, good as gold. Okay. Now, with the spanner, just nip this up. It doesn't have to be bloody tight. That's firm, I can't move the filter. That's fine. Okay. Yes, 40544. Now once again, you can do the same thing. You can pop a bit of grease on there if you like. These are quite soft. You can see we've got a lot of freeboard there. And so I don't tend to do that. I only do it sometimes. Now, this lever here, this bit, I try not to put it down the bottom like that because the air cleaner sits like that. I try not to put it down there because rubbish can sit in it. I like to bring it up that way. And you can see the rubber seal around the outer now. So this rubber here is quite soft. It sits down in and that stops all the dirt and moisture and rubbish coming in. Get this out of the way. Just pull that out of the way a bit so I can get past, no worries. This is quite sharp though. And I try and keep this like right in the middle if it's possible. And once again, it hasn't got to be tight, it's just so it's a good seal all the way. I would like that. Oh no, that's not too bad. The rubbish won't sit in there like that. If this sits like that, that'll be okay. But yeah, I cut my finger on the edge of that bloody thing. Dopey bugger. Okay. Now the duck's bum. So I suppose we should have a little talk about how it all works. And air comes in here. The vanes in here keep it really spinning around, and any rubbish comes out the bottom there and gets evacuated from the engine itself. So we just need to pop this on. That's quite a firm fit. Now as for the angle of that, I don't believe it matters. Yeah, I don't think. I'll just have it lined up with the flow of the air cleaner. That's about all. And that's about all we can really do with our air cleaner at the moment. So we'll just go and pop him back on the tractor and then that'll be job done. Well, there you go. There's the air cleaner back on again. I've got the new hose sitting up in here. That's going well. I haven't done these clamps up yet, and just to finish the video, I've bolted it all in place, but I'm going to pull this all off again now, and I'm doing some work with fitting a new foot throttle assembly, and I'd like to get up in under here to adjust that and do some bends to get around these steering pipes and that. So I'll pop it back off again, but for the purposes of the video, that's all done. The air cleaner's serviced up and we have a new hose. And yeah, look, that's it.